Hello everyone, and welcome to this new video about sovereign practices using Python and Streamlit. So, in this tutorial, we will solve some problems, okay, with Python that programmers deal with every day. So, on those practices, we will display multiple charts on a single window, okay, on or multiple window. So they need to be ordered. So let's dig into the practices. So on the 12th practice over here, it says to plot four charts, 2 by 2, of a random 1D array. Okay, so this is quite simple task. It doesn't require a lot of things in here. So here's the solution. Solution is quite simple. As you can see here, this is the chart. So this is the first chart. This is the second one, and this is the third, and this is the fourth. As you can see, they are ordered one by one next to the other one. So there is here a clear order of the display. So it needs some x-axis label and y-axis and a title, okay? And those things you can do them as I will show you later on. You can add those things. So yeah, this would be perfect if you display, for example, your project or your data, to display them and show them to the public, okay, through this API of Streamlit. So here's the code solution. The code solution was quite simple. As you can see, there are only few lines of code. It's not something really complicated, okay? Only few lines of code. So here I put C1 equals random.run init. So what does that mean? As I have explained on the previous video, it says to generate a random integer from 0 to 5. So the 5 is excluded. So from 0 to 4, as you can see here, the maximum number, let's refresh it, okay? The maximum number is 4, okay? There is no 5 here and here and here and here. So the last one is excluded. So there is no 5 over here. It is excluded, but it is the limit. So for example, if I put 6, the 6 won't be among the generated items, okay? So it's from 0 to 4. And the length of the array that's going to be generated is 10, okay? So on the first one is 10, the second one is 10, they are all 10, okay? So over here there is four random numbers, okay? So over here, as you can see, there is four charts. I didn't want to make all the same, look the same, so I wanted to make some diversification, okay? So, and now after doing that, I put the columns, okay? So st.columns 1, 1. So I put over here two columns, okay? There is this first column, and then there is the second column. As you can see, each one is on its side. So this is the first column. So if I display three charts on this column, so it will be longer than the other column. The other column will have only one if I wanted to. Okay? So I wanted on purpose to display one by one, one by one. So I know the default size, okay? So after doing that, I've called this function over here and put it on CC1 and CC2, okay? And after that, I put with CC1, okay? Uh, I put, I draw the line chart, okay? I can draw, for example, the bar chart. Let me show you. If you want to see a bar chart, let's dig into this solution, and I will show you how the bar chart will be displayed, okay? It's not really something hard. Let's make here bar chart, okay? Now, as you will see, there is here a bar chart, okay? So I was able to display a bar chart next to a line chart, next to another type of charts, okay? And it's made easy, okay? It's not complicated. It's something very simple, very easy with Streamlit, okay? So it's a perfect tool to display your data, to display your portfolio of knowledge. Okay, you can do multiple things on here. So I put st.line chart C1 on the column, this column, and I put it on it the second chart, st.line chart C2, okay? And with the second columns, on the second columns, I also put two charts to keep it balanced, okay? So st.line chart C3 and st.chart C4. So C3, this is over here, the C3, and this is the C4, okay? So each one is by on its side. I hope you understand those things. If you didn't, feel free to send me a message on my LinkedIn. I will respond as quickly as possible. Okay. So yeah, this is all about the 12th practice. So now let's dig into the 13th practice, the practice number 13. So what does this practice say? It's said to write a code that will display four plotly specified plotly charts. Okay, this is not Matplotlib chart or the default chart of the streamnet. Okay, those are plotly charts. So the plotly chart, as you can see, this is an interactive chart. Okay, this is an interactive chart. The plotly chart is also interactive, as you see over here. This is, for example, a 3D printing, okay? As you can see, it's moving, so it is interactive, okay? So over here, it is interactive. So if I do that, it is interactive, okay? So as you can see here on the solution, if I reload the page, different numbers would show up, okay? And I've put some diversification, as you can see over here. They are all different. This one over here is different, and then there is this pad over here that shows us the keys to read those charts. Okay, so yeah, it's pretty easy to understand. Okay, so over here you are seeing four type of charts that are different each from the other. Okay. So here is the code solution. On the code solution, it's as well simple. It's a little bit too long, but it is simple, okay? Let's bring it down. So over here, I imported plotly.graph object as go. So we will use that to put our chart in it. And then I've used the subplots. So I didn't use like the previous one, st.columns, okay? I've used it directly subplots, okay? So I put this all as a one plot, okay? And then each one is a subplot of the everything plot, okay? So this is working quite fine, okay? As you can see here. This is good to display, for example, a project, the different area of analysis, okay? If you want, for example, to analyze your data, this is the perfect thing to show it, to bring it down extremely easy and extremely fast. Okay, So it's a very helpful tool to give you some bigger view, okay, of the overall data. So you would know exactly what's going on with your data, okay? And you can explain it to others as well. So over here, I put the fake equals make subplots. So I created the subplots over here. It's the same thing over here. It's a little bit too long. It's the same thing as SD columns, but it is with the subplots, okay? So with the subplots, I've put it the rows equals 2 and the columns equals 2. And the specs equals the type of the drawing, okay? So this is one over here. It's an X and Y drawing. This one over here is a polar. This is a domain, and this is a scene, okay? Each one and its type. So if you have an X and Y like this, then you would put an X and Y, okay? the type of the chart is in X and Y, and this, the type of the chart is polar, okay? Each one and have its own type. So I put it each one and its type on this dictionary, okay? And gave it to spect as an argument for the make plots. And later on, we will use those plots, okay, to print them on the figure. It's returning only one argument, okay? So now I wanted to get the random numbers, okay? So because each time I reload the page, new data would come, okay? As you can see, this chart is different from the next one. So this is the first chart, this is the second one. As you can see, it's totally different. So I wanted to put some diversification over my data. And how I done that? So using the simple and method of randint, okay? It will generate, for example, over here from 1 to 10, an array of 5 elements, okay? So the fig.add trace, I have added the trace and send it as a parameter go.bar, okay? I've used the bar over here. So this is a bar chart, okay? This is the second one is bar polar. The third one is a pie. And the fourth one is a scatter 3D, okay? So not only you will use this one over here, the type of the chart, you will send it as a cplot argument, and also you will add to that the type, how you are going to draw it over here. So over here, fig.add trace. So this is a trace, this is a bar. This is a bar, and send the argument as go.bar, and then give it the y equals y, because here over here I put y equals randint. So I've sent to it the array and then the row, where is going to be plotted, okay, is going to be plotted over here. The first row and the first column over here. Okay, this is its place. I will send the array, also the row, the number of the row and the number of the column, okay? And also on the second chart is this one over here, is the first row, the second column. So the first row, the second column, this is over here. As you can see, this one over here, it's not showing up, now it's showing up. This one over here is the second plot over here. So I've put the type bar polar, and then I will give the argument the theta and the r. Okay, the theta is generated. It's going to get a random number from 0 to 316. So 316 is excluded. So the maximum number is from 0 to 359. Okay, and the length of the array is going to be 5. Okay. So I gave it random data. You can add as much as you can. You can add up to 10, 20, 14. You and how you want to display your data, okay? So I am saying the argument data and the R. As you can see, those are the same names. And this is no problem with Python, okay? This is no problem, and it would work just fine as long as you are not, it's not a function, so you can do it however you want, and you can call it however you want, okay? So if you put its place on the row 1 and the column 2, and it displayed for me this chart, okay? From the cplot, the general cplot that takes all the charts together. As you can see here, it's not different. It's not like the same, the first one. For example, over here, as you can see, this is on its own. But over here, everything is linked together. This is all, they are all cplots, okay? That's why we imported this library from plotly.cplot import make plots, okay? So it's not hanging there just like that. There is a purpose for it, okay? So after doing that, we have drawn the bar polar, and after the bar polar, we drawn the pie. So the pie, this is over here. It says the pie is on the second row and the first column. So second row and the first column. So this is the first column, this is the second row. As you can see, it has the shape of a pie. Okay, and each thing on it has have its own color. Okay, so how I have done that? So same thing, I've generated 4 random numbers. Okay, So I will generate four random numbers from 1 to 5. The 0 is excluded, so the 5 is excluded, so from 1 to 4. Okay. And after that, I've add the trace through this function, same thing as here and the other one. So I'm adding to the overall final plotting using a trace, okay? And yeah, it's working just fine. And on the last one is going to put a scatter 3D. So on the scatter 3D over here, as you can see, it is 3D printing. So it displays the data on 3 dimension, okay? So this is a quite big thing, okay? If you want, for example, to make it bigger, let's make it bigger. So over here, it is bigger and everything is more clear, okay? So here is your web application displaying your data however you want for you in order to look at it, to have a better look for it, okay? So over here, there's your chart. As you can see, you can zoom only on one. So you can put them on different charts if you want to have more zoom on it to look better on the data. So you can use, for example, the previous notion of ST column. So each one will be plotted on its own place. Okay. So by doing that, it will require some work. It's not very complicated. You can make it as a homework and work for it. Okay. It's not complicated at all. Okay. It have only those things that I'm giving you here. You can use them and plot those things. It won't take too much time. Okay. So as you can see, it's plotted just fine. So it needs as an argument the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. So I've generated random numbers. So I generated random numbers and put them on those variables. And when I call it fig.addTrace, so I put what I'm going to trace. So go dot scatter 3D. So scatter 3D, I've sent as an argument the x. So x, this one x, and the y, this one y, and the z, this one z. So mod lines. So I put the mod lines in order to be a line. Okay, this is the line. So, and then I put it where I wanted to plot it. So on the second column and the second row, okay? And after all that, I've plotted through, using this function, st.plotly chart fig, and send it as an argument fig. So fig, as you can see here, we added the trace to the fig, and then we added, and we added, and we added the trace to the fig, okay? And we will send it as an argument to be plotted at the end, okay? And it was working just fine. And now let's jump to the fourth practice, okay? The practice number 14. This practice is a good one, okay? So it says to display a 4 chart using Matplotlib 2 by 2, okay? So as you can see here, this is an image. It's not interactive like the previous one. So you can over here save it as an image and it will be saved as a PNG image, okay? So as you can see, this is an image. So this is the difference between Matplotlib and Plotly and the default plot function, okay? This is a quite good thing, you know? Because you can just copy this image, okay, of your analyzed data and send it to someone to look at it, okay? It would be a good thing to analyze your data in a better way. So how I've done this? So using matplotlib dot plot dot pyplot. This is not plotly. This is pyplot as plt. So I imported the library that I'm going to use, and then I've added the fig and the axis. So this one, cplot plot dot cplot plt dot cplots. Okay, over here we use it cplots, but not PLE. PLT. What is not PLT? Okay, so make cplots. Same thing. Fig. Fig is in general the final uh, the final data to be displayed. So I put over here make plots. It is plotly.cplots. So this is, don't make confusion between those two functions. So this one over here is imported through from this library, and this one over here is cplot is a function of this library. Okay, they are not the same. So I've put C plus. As you can see, it does return two arguments. So it does return the fig, the thing that we are going to give it to be plotted, and the axis. So we would modify over here only the axis. Okay, we won't modify the fig, because when we modify the axis, it would automatically modify the fig for us. Okay, there is no need to modify the fig. Okay, so okay, yeah, so yeah, so over here, how I've done that, so I put it random numbers from 0 to 6 on, and the length of the array is 10. So I've put the axis 0 0. As you can see here, I put 2 by 2. So on the 0 0, this is the first one over here, this one over here, the plot number 1. So the plot number 1, I gave it the title, and then I plotted. So I plotted X on this part, and I set the title on it. Okay, because at the end it will return an image. So I plot on it, and I set the title, and then same thing with second plot. I put the X. I also put a type. So the color of the chart, this one over here, is going to be an orange. Okay, you can do that as well with Python. So over here I didn't do it. Okay, over here I didn't do it, but here you can do it. There is methods to do it over here, but on here it's simple. It's more simple than the previous one, and you can do it on the previous one. Okay, so I've added the title. So title plot number 1. So plot number 2, tab orange, and tab green, and tab red. Okay, so this one over here is the first plot, the second plot, third plot, and the fourth plot. And then in order to get rid of this thing, so as you can see here, the numbers are this plot the number 4, plot number 3. As you can see, there is no noise on the background. But if we remove it, okay, let's try to remove this function over here. I'm going to remove this part. So only to show you what it is doing, okay? So this part we are going to remove it. So let's remove it over here and save it. And now let's reload the page. As you can see here, the numbers of the x-axis is entering on the area of the title of the plot. And this is not good for us, okay? So in order to avoid all those things, we are going to use a for loop in AX, okay? The for AX in AX.flat. So this one over here, the flat is this one over here. This one is the flat. So AX, I have called this function over here label outer. So in order to display the numbers, to hide the numbers, okay? So it won't make problem for us. And now let's put it back. As you can see over here, plot number 3 is now free. Okay, there is no noise on the background, and it's doing a job very well. Okay, so this is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed those solving of those practices. If you like this video, please leave a comment. You can subscribe if you want. If you have some questions, feel free to ask me. Okay, so thank you for watching, and bye bye.